Ways of meeting with your clients. What works best for your business model? In this lesson, you should be able to discuss various options in meeting your client. Analyze the pros and cons of each option. Discern which option fits you best with your business model. And recognize when to combine ways or maybe to transition to another model as your practice grows. The first is a regional office. Now, this is the familiar presence in your city. This may be in a landmark building. It may have the firm's name on the side. You've got administrative staff that are shared by multiple people. You've got the opportunity to collaborate with specialists and other advisors. So if you are one of those ones that really love the collaboration or love the resources at your fingertips, this might appeal to you. The parking, the signage, and the meeting space are available to you, and you usually pay a fee or a desk charge to locate your practice within a large firm like that. But immediately, your space is recognizable and familiar to clients in that area. Now, a branch office is another way that advisors can meet clients. It's an opportunity to brand it with your own name or business model idea. So if you're somebody that likes to work with people that are dog owners, and maybe you've branded it something cute and it's right by a dog park, and you provide a little bowl of water for the dogs as they come in. It gives you that opportunity to personalize and customize and name it something that really attracts your target audience. And it could be closer to your community. So again, if you're that dog lover and you want to be near the dog park in your home and your target audience are people that love dogs too, having a branch office could be the way that you think is the most fun. Now, the branch office means that you're going to be responsible for the lease and the furnishings and the utilities and all the communications and the signage and the janitorial and the parking. And so you're going to have to establish that presence and register the location, and you're going to have most likely some support staff, unless you intend to spend all of your time doing the business side and playing with the dogs or doing, addressing your target audience in whatever way that you've designed this branch office. You're going to probably need to factor in the salary for at least one other person. Now, another way that people meet with clients, and particularly millennials or busy professionals, is a virtual office or home office. So you could combine an initial face-to-face office meeting somewhere, then having the rest of the meetings virtual. You could use FaceTime, you could use whatever kind of software that you find is the most comfortable for you and your clients to use. And really, it doesn't have to just be millennials. I can tell you I've got a 75-year-old client that loves to meet me this way. So it's whatever your design is. And if you think that you really are most productive meeting clients this way, and maybe your focus is people that are busy professionals, this could be an opportunity. Now, this avoids the commute for you, so you're going to get to see clients in hours that are in real time. You get to personalize your workspace. So what's in the environment around you when the client sees you? You can, your diploma's behind you. You might have a picture of something that identifies your target audience, if there's something you have in common. You're working with pilots, maybe there's a model airplane on your desk, that kind of thing. Virtual home office, you have a little bit of opportunity to do. Now, that saves you brick and mortar costs. You don't have an assistant, it's you. And you get to have a geographically diverse client base. So in the example, if you were working with pilots, for example, maybe this is an ideal kind of setup because obviously by nature of their job, they're flying all over, and trying to pin them down to a certain place might be harder than to have your virtual office space for them, and that you can set up meetings wherever they are. Now, you do have to have equipment and software then. You're going to have a quiet work area with some secure storage. And your main office becomes your primary office for your registration. They're like your sales office. And then you work out of this virtual office. Now, one of the things that a virtual office allows you to do is have some non-traditional business hours. So you don't have to worry about the main office that they turn off the air conditioning at 5 to the building. And if a client needs to see you after work or on the weekend, and that is what fits your vision and your clients find that the best way to work with you, having this kind of an office might be a really big advantage. Now, there's also mobile advisors, and for people that really want you to come to them, you come to their office, you come to their home or a coffee house or something. It's a more informal way of meeting with clients, and you put them at ease. It lets you observe their lifestyle. You get to meet their extended family. The downside is you're going to spend a good portion of your day in traffic because you're going to wherever is convenient for them. The upside for the client is they're more likely to keep those appointments because they don't have to negotiate traffic, and they don't have to find parking, and they don't have to stop whatever they're doing and spend an hour to get to you. So that could be an advantage depending if you're in a busy metropolitan area and that's a concern for your clients. Now, a mobile advisor is really ideal for multi-generational families and for retirees and single parents, because they're going to find it more difficult to try to get to you. And so what you've done is you've taken that out of the equation so that the time that you spend, that you need to spend in order to provide the value and solution you promised, is going to be that personalized service. You're right there when they need it. So you can offer that longer session that you might need. And if they have documents that you need to access while they're there, it's right there. So you don't have to wait for them to mail it to you. They just go and get it. Now, there's also another way that advisors have chosen to work with clients, and it's in those offices for rent. You've seen them. They're the Exchange, there's the Regus offices, there are those collaborative spaces, and you have typically a receptionist and parking and a waiting room, and telecommunications are provided. There's a telephone and there's Wi-Fi, and maybe there's a little kitchenette where they have coffee. So those things are all provided. It's very modern. It is pre-furnished, and it's very professional, and they have spaces typically all over, so you can go geographically wherever your clients are, and it's a professional look for a very modest price. It gives you a visible presence in communities in more places than you would typically do if you had one office. So it allows you to maybe follow your client when they move across town to still be convenient for them to come and see you. It also is a great opportunity to co-locate with centers of influence. So you might find one that's got an estate planning attorney in one of the suites, or a tax preparer in one of the suites, or something else that your client needs, and it's one convenient location. So it's great for referrals. It's great if your clients need their services as well to set up a joint meeting. And it's the way that a lot of the millennials are doing business. So if your target audience is something like that demographic, you'll find that they may already be doing business themselves in similar spaces. And when you have a little office in one of those spaces, you also can actually rent the suite and personalize it. But if you're coming in on a short-term basis, you can still bring in your photos, or you can bring in a plant or whatever it is to personalize it a little bit. So it's sort of the best of both worlds. Now, don't overlook meeting with clients in client appreciation events. If you want to increase the number of touches that you have with your clients, and maybe you're managing their assets, but you don't want all of your communication to be about their portfolio, don't forget to thank them and host something. It shows your involvement in the community, perhaps, if that's what your value is. You get to meet prospects at the same time. They get to bring their friends. So don't forget that you can do something near your office that attracts other people in that area to you. When you host an educational seminar, and maybe you're looking for a space that has room for those things. So when you're meeting with your clients, educational seminars are a great way to show that extra added value, that competence that we've spoken about, and introduce new concepts. So think about, as you're looking for ways to meet your clients, a space that provides that, or something nearby where your clients are used to going that has that opportunity. And this is very valuable for virtual clients, because if you're only meeting them virtually at other times during the year, involving in some of these events, you get to also add that personal face-to-face touch. Now, deciding which of these is going to work for you really requires you to think about your target audience. What do they value? What do you value? Where do they congregate? What kind of space fits their lifestyle best? You want to make the right impression. So you want to have, if you're working with a very conservative, old money clientele, then you're probably not going to have a very modern, transitory type of office for rent, but maybe you need to have the established, dark paneling, elaborate space. Whereas if you're meeting with a millennial, that may not add value to them. So you think about how you've branded your business. What do you want to portray? And that's going to help you decide the best place to meet these clients. So think about your support staff. If you have a lot of support staff, you're going to need a space that accommodates them. Are you working with another advisor that you want to introduce to your clients? Is there going to be ample space for them? Or maybe you're a solo practitioner, and maybe you like doing both sides of the business, so you don't really need a support staff, except maybe when you're in a meeting and maybe one of the virtual offices or one of the offices for rent is more conducive to doing business with your target audience. And then, of course, your budget is going to be a determining factor, because you're going to have to figure out where you want to focus your expenditures. Is it on software? Is it on rent? Is it on support staff? And as you prioritize those things, it will help you decide what's going to be the best meeting space for you and your clients. So in this lesson, you learned about the various ways advisors meet with clients, some pros and cons from each model, and how more than one model could work for you. Until next time.